We've always known there was more to this universe. A place beyond our reality. We've been searching for a gateway. A portal to the core of a multi-dimensional travel system to new worlds and universes existing in parallel with our own. We were so close. We just needed access. But how far into the multiverse could we go? How many new worlds could we find? How many allies could we make? Or worse, how many enemies? Before we find the core world.
Game now, me and you, we ain't the same now. Lions coming out to play now. Opposition out the way now. Out of the way. My guys are high rises, high time. My crown if you come to my side. I pledge allegiance for lifetime. My squad connected like Wi-Fi. We grinding, you see the highlights. Say you come to play, I dare you to try it. You don't wanna try me, then step up to my team. Yeah, out of the way, yeah, yeah. Out of the way, yeah, yeah. Out of the way.
There has never been an easier way to build an online multiplayer game, like full stop.
A lot of this has actually come from the community, the other core developers and builders.
This is the Game Award.
And hello. All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for Core's first anniversary celebration. My name is Maddie. I'm the Senior Director of Community and Developer Relations. We're coming to you live from Twitch and YouTube, and we have some big announcements for you today. So I'm joined by Frederick, Arash, and Adam. And how about y'all introduce yourselves, starting with Frederick?
Hello, welcome, bienvenue, willkommen, dobro, pozalovat, benvenuto, ni hao, welcome, benvenido. Welcome to the Core Metaverse. I'm Frederick Discam, the CEO and co-founder of Manticore Games.
Hey everybody, I'm Arash. I'm the CPO at Manticore Games. Super excited to share all the information and all the cool stuff that we have been working on for the past few months. So excited.
And hi, I'm Adam, but a lot of you know me as Wave Paradigm. I'm a product manager here at Manticore Games and a core creator.
The maker of the world famous Rolem.
I hear we might be seeing that soon. And product is also what the P in CPO stands for, Chief Product Officer. So today we'll be talking about three things, and it's going to be Core coming to new platforms, new social games that are coming to Core, which you can preview starting today. And we're going to be teasing some entirely new ways to experience the Core metaverse. And so we're going to start off by handing it to Frederick to talk about what brings us here today, some news that you might have seen on Twitter earlier and on some articles earlier. And I believe we're going to bring up my feed as I'm running around this updated Core Plaza.
Yes, welcome to the welcome to the 1 year launch anniversary event. Thanks for joining us today for this very special moment, streamed simultaneously from Core, Twitch, and YouTube. Today is a very exciting moment as we are celebrating the 1 year anniversary of the Core Metaverse beta launch on the Epic Game Store. We also wanted to make a few important announcements about some of the new massive expansion and enhancements that we are bringing to the Core Metaverse in the coming year. So the last year has been just amazing with many firsts, as most of them highlighted in the anniversary trailer you just saw before the stream started. We have over 3 million users total. We had 30 million portals that were used in Core in the last year. Portals are one of the ways to connect to the games, going into the games, the experiences, the worlds, the stories that are on Core. We have over 50,000 games that were made and published in Core. Games, experiences, worlds. And we have also welcomed 30,000 creators plus over the last year. So it was a very, very packed year. Our vision for the Core Metaverse of a social virtual space for self-expression, creativity, and new economic opportunities is taking shape nicely. And there is more. We have a truly insane amount of new stuff coming down the pipe this year. With the operative word insane and amount and new stuff. We're going to offer new ways of being in the Core Metaverse with a new avatar system, We're going to show you part of that today. It's going to be done in 2 waves in the next coming months. We're also going to greatly expand what you can do in Core, besides playing games. For instance, we want to give everybody a home, a place, a new sense of location and being in the metaverse. And we will have a few additional announcements about that in the next few months. We're also going to greatly expand the economic opportunities available in Core. So with many new ways to make more money. It's going to be very exciting. That's one of the key pillars of our vision, new economic opportunities. Today, though, we're going to focus on a few specific updates. We have a lot to reveal, we have a lot to cover, we have a lot to share, and we have a lot to demo. We're going to talk about the Core Metaverse mobile launch in a few months, toward the end of July, probably. We're going to introduce party portals, which was a request by the community of players, of creators, to be able to just create and launch instantaneously social games, party games. And we're going to talk about the new avatar system. So Maddie is live from Core Plaza. And up to you, Maddie.
And if you see me in your server, come hang out. We are in Core Plaza. This is the default world for everybody today. For people who joined Core recently, this is one of the very first hub worlds that we made. And it was during a time that we had challenged ourselves to make a new game every week. And this one we found people kept coming back to. They wanted to hang out to collect the mini games, and it's one that when we made changes to it, we got requests to go back there. So we figured what better celebration for Core's first anniversary than to relaunch it, repackage it, add a bunch of new stuff to do, and there's actually some secrets that we'll be able to fire off a little bit later. And yep, if you see me, follow me, head to some mini games, we'll tour some other games as well. And let's see. The other thing is that we're building out an amphitheater that when we have a live stream with DJ Deadlyfishes, you'll be able to watch the stream right there. Also, it's been a while. It's been a while since we did one of those streams. I know that y'all have been asking for it, so that's why we're giving you roadmap updates today. If you have questions for the founders, drop them in Twitch chat. Drop them in Discord, we'll get them over to us. We're also going to have a Twitter space, one of our very first Twitter spaces next week, to talk about some of the creator programs that we have coming up. And so where to begin? How about we, let's see, how about we move to Frederick? Would you like to start with the new ways to interact with Core or with a certain new platform?
Sorry, what did you say, Manny?
How about we hop into this new platform? Can kick it over to Adam.
Oh, talking about mobile. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, sorry. Yes. So, mobile, obviously, extremely important launch. We're launching on iOS in a few weeks. Actually, probably toward the end of July, give or take. And as you can see behind me, my very first personal computer, an Apple IIe. And Archon, one of the games that was really foundational to deciding the name for Manticore games. But we've been working very avidly, very feverishly at launching on mobile. It's a very important development for us because it's going to give access to many more players, many more users. The whole Core metaverse is going to be available on mobile. And also on Macs, so that's going to be very, very exciting. And Adam is the product manager on some of these features, and he's going to show you some of the tools we are releasing today or in the next days for the creators to optimize, tune, adapt their creations to mobile. So Adam is showing off. Mobile is actually running on an old tablet, I guess.
Yeah, so this is actually an iPad Air 2, which is actually below sort of the minimum spec I think we're targeting. Obviously, a lot of these details today are not 100% finalized, but the fact that we were able to get it running even on this device, which is actually older than ones we expected to get it to work on, was very exciting. So, tons of work has been happening behind the scenes on all sorts of efforts towards, the iOS launch, which we're hoping to do this summer, right, Maddie?
That's right.
And so it's amazing to see how far that effort has come and how easy it is for creators to port existing games over onto mobile. So here I have Roll'em, right? And so last year we released bindings, which were a new way of handling input. It let us enable controller input, and it also set the stage for really easy touch integration. And so right here with Roll'em, you can see that you don't see anything on the left side of the screen, but the moment I drag my left thumb, you get a virtual joystick, and it just works exactly as you expect. And I, as the creator, didn't have to do a thing. That is built-in, out-of-the-box behavior you see in Core. This button on the right, however, is a button I chose to make. If you choose not to make your own buttons, there can be some default, A, B, X, Y styled controller prompts. But we also let creators just create their own custom UIs for touchscreen buttons. And it's super easy to make buttons that hook right into the binding system. So I didn't have to write a line of code to get this button to make my marble jump. It just activates the jump binding and it all works. And that made porting Roll'em onto mobile, an afternoon. It was really easy just to try things out, click publish, head on over, pull it up on my device and play it on device faster than just about any other platform for testing. And that you're not just testing it over like a debug, connection, you're actually publishing it live and trying the live version within seconds. And so it's just as impressive as it is on desktop, except now it's even more impressive because it's working on a mobile device.
And you can actually do this. And you can actually do this essentially now with the tools that are coming out. So as of the update from yesterday, you have the ability to publish a version that is compatible with iOS. You'll see that in the editor. You'll have to flag that in order for it to appear on iOS when it launches. You'll also have a testing tool. So you'll have a screen that can pop up that can show the controls and the aspect ratio that you're shooting for and be able to see how your game performs. As Adam was saying, you can go for either a hybrid where it works on PC and mobile, or you can do just PC or just mobile and have the different control schemes for each of those. If you want to do the overlay controls, you can add that. If you want to go mobile first controls, you can do that with the pinch, zoom, etc. If you hit publish to iOS, you won't be able to play it on your iOS device yet because it's not live on iOS yet. But we are going to be releasing, we're going to have a test flight program for creators. Now we have a limited number of spots that we can invite you to get onto our beta program to test on your own iOS device before it goes live. So I'll have some more information a little bit later for how you can get into that. These spots are very limited. And so, Adam, back to you.
Yeah.
I guess.
So I'm happy here. If we want, I can jump on over. I'd be happy to show creators what this looks like in the editor, what it looks like to preview the release now that you've seen it running on an actual device. And also just really quickly show you, you can pull up settings, and I can close that, and you can go up to the actual core thing. But I'm not going to show too much of that because some of that's still in progress. So give me just a moment here. Right. I'm going to put my webcam back to normal, and I will fire up in editor and show you all the features that came out literally yesterday.
And while we're switching to that, Frederick and Arash, go ahead.
Oh, so while Adam is pulling to show the editor, one thing to note is the iOS and PC are 100% cross-platform. So you can actually play play Roll'em both on PC, and some of the friends that you're playing with are actually going to be on iOS. So we've worked really hard to make sure that every game that we provide is actually 100% cross-platform.
All right, so I guess we'll just give it a minute here. We'll cut the stream over to my my PC here, if we're able to get that up. But what I've got here, perfect. What we've got here is the device preview, and this went live yesterday. And so what's really great about this is, let me just turn it off for a second and show you sort of what you get. You can drop down device preview and disable it and enable it. You can turn on the device frame or not. And then you can choose from a ton of different mobile devices, various iPhones, starting from the iPhone X going up, iPad 7th, 8th, 9th gen, and so on. And every time you click one, you'll actually get size dimensions that correspond to these new ones. And so I have it set to like iPad 3rd gen because that's the closest to what I was just using. And once you've set that, you simply hit play, and now you actually get like a little mobile preview. And so you can see I can, with my mouse, just simulate all those touch events. And that's what was able to let me test and prove out exactly, how this was going to work on my mobile device. And so this works as a really great approximation and lets people really get their games working touch first. It lets them practice, test out all the code events that tell you, hey, this is a touch game. Hey, they switched to PC mouse. And so you're able to just really hit the ground running with mobile development. And again, I am not exaggerating. It took me, an afternoon to get Roll'em really working with iOS. And it only took some amount of tweaks. And frankly, some of the stuff I had to fight with was more in development and has only been made smoother. And that'll continue to happen all the way until launch. And so it is really becoming one of the lowest friction ways to release a game on mobile. And so I'm super stoked about it, of course. Did anyone? I don't know if we have any questions from chat or if there's any other color anyone wants to add. Obviously, like Arash said, cross-platform is exciting. It means that it's not just that you're playing against other mobile users; it's that you're playing against anyone who's playing Roll'em. And so, obviously, mobile has a huge, audience, and it's a lot easier to get your hands on a phone that can run Core than perhaps a gaming desktop that can run Core. So I'm super duper stoked about Core coming to iOS. And if anyone was too worried that I was good at my own game, you can watch me try to play it on a mouse.
And we have a question about Android. Is an Android release plan too, and likely in the future. But for now, we're focusing on iOS, but we're always looking and working on releasing Core on other platforms. iOS for us was the first natural step. To greatly expand the player base, especially. So, the act of creation is still on the PC, but the act of playing for players participating in Core will be now PC, Macs, and iOS devices. And that part, and we also have another question. I don't know if I want to start interrupting for questions, but because we do have lots of things to go through, so maybe we'll go back some of these questions. But why don't we move on, Maddie?
Sounds good. Let's bring it back over to the dance party that we have going on. And so the tools are available right now. As we're switching over, Frederick, Arash, can y'all talk a bit more about what does it mean to be switching to mobile? What can creators and players expect once we're on this new platform?
Well, I think the main thing is accessibility and reach, right? There was a question here. We'll answer that because we've had this question before. Why should indie developers and creators develop in Core? Well, for a start, it's the easiest way, the fastest way to make real-time multiplayer games on Worlds. It's also the fastest way to monetize, right? The user base is expanding, and I think mobile is going to give us a huge influx of new players. And I think that's the main thing, right? It's accessibility and reach. PC gaming is very strong, of course, and mobile gaming is absolutely huge, right? And the quality of experience we want to provide on iOS, we want it to be really at par with what you see on the PC. So we've been working really hard at that, right? Providing the tools to the creators to bring their UGC creations, worlds, etc. to mobile in a very, very easy way. And that's a huge differentiator also as compared to lots of the other metaverse plays out there. I don't know if you want to add anything, Maddie or Rash, about what mobile obviously brings to. And by the way, we're not changing the rev share. The rev share is still the same, so we're still giving 50% of the revenues to the creators on mobile.
And that's a question we get a lot. So just to repeat it, we're not changing the rev share for this. So it's still going to be 50-50 and set up your perks, get your games ready for this launch. So that's going to be this summer. This means you have a couple of months to get into the tool, get back familiar with it, get your new control set up. So in order to do that, the way we're offering several ways for you to get ready. we're going to have workshops. These are going to be 1 to 2 day workshops that the DevRel team is hosting, and everybody that completes one of the workshops will get a spot in the test flight. In the test flight program. So head to our Discord for more information on how to apply for that. There's a form in our Discord that's going live today, and you can message Teddy for more information as well. But get your information into that form, take the workshop. You'll learn everything that you need to know about performance, controls, and to be able to potentially get a good feature spot once we start bringing in all of those mobile users. And so I'm about to switch over to the new secret password that we have in Core Plaza. Arash, anything else you want to add on the mobile front?
No, it's Frederick obviously covered almost everything about mobile. So like we are, accessibility is obviously one of the biggest thing that we have. The way that the people utilize and use mobile and games on mobile is different as well. So a lot of the games that we have on the experiences that we have on Core right now are like right for converting it to mobile as well. So it's already ready for that. And given that how much we remove the friction of moving over which was one of the key things that we thought about was, given that how much we remove the friction, it's going to be super easy for everybody to actually be every experience in game and be available on mobile. So we're super excited. We think that this is going to be a huge thing for us and for all of you, and actually is going to help a lot in the sense of monetization as well, how you monetize and you actually earn revenue and in your economic value of your games and experiences on the platform.
All right, and we have we need to redirect this dance party a little bit, so we're going to introduce party portals and keep the questions coming. We do have those coming to us. We're going to keep on answering questions about mobile, about social, and any questions we don't get to we'll be able to tackle in the Discord and in our Twitter space next week. But for now, direct your attention to my screen as that comes up. So starting today in Core Plaza, there is a new feature that the community team can activate called Party Portals. If you've been in the game nights, then you've been able to play test this a couple times. This is an ability for creators to add new game night social experiences and interactions to their games. The way it works is if you have the mod ship ability from the creator, type /party. And let's see, which game do we want to pick here? Let's start with bowling. And it fires up portal. That's the portals and party portals. Now everybody in my instance, hop in there. Let's go play bowling. You'll notice there's no load times. This is actually off to the side in the world. One of them is up in a blimp, I believe, in the sky that you can see. And this is what it looks like. It's bowling. It brings everybody over to it. It can handle scoring, gets people queued up to the different spots that they want. And Team Meta began work on this, really wanting to answer the question, what are we gonna do when we're hanging out? It's not enough to just sit around with all of your friends. Usually when you have a game night, you're doing something. You're having a drink, playing a game, you're getting a deck of cards out, something off the board game shelf, or going to a bowling alley. And so we built party portals to be a bunch of off-the-shelf games that you can add to your social experiences to guide people through whatever you want. And we're going to go through 3 of those today while we tackle questions. The way you can play it right now, so it's not live for everybody yet, but we want your feedback. So it's come into Core Plaza, hop into the portal, and give us any feedback, ideas, bugs, etc. And then next week, this will be released for all creators to be able to add to their games. The way that works for adding it is you take community content, you load it up from community content, drag it in, and then you're set. Then it will just work. If you want to customize it, such as, say, add new game show trivia questions, which will be relevant in a moment, you can hop into the Lua to change that. Or if you want to make entirely new game modes yourself, then you can do that. And let's see, how are we doing? How are we doing in the bowling here? It looks like we have every lane up.
I wanted to add a few things.
Go ahead.
This obviously not just for creators; it's also for players. It's available in Core Plaza, the kind of default version of Party Portals is available to players all the time. And then for creators, they can use it as is, or they can customize it, add to it, etc. As Maddie said, this is a very important feature. It's a very important new system for us. Core is a virtual social space, and we've learned a lot over the last year. One of the main things we've learned is that playing games is great, but people really want to have these special social moments. Some are impromptu. If you've been in Core World or Core Plaza today, you see people dancing, people doing avatar contests of sorts, avatar-based games, chatting with voice chat, text chat, etc., organizing impromptu parties to go explore some games, play some games together. And there is really a vast array of behaviors and that we've seen emerge from the platform. And lots of them are social, lots of them are really interesting. Some of them are based around like RP, like role playing. Some of them are based, and we always mention the example of Coffee RPG that was started by a group of tremendous folks with an actual coffee manned by NPCs, but also sometimes by other players who are RPing in the coffee shop with its own gazette, its own Sudoku, updated every week, etc. People organize parties, people organize concerts. We organize concerts, of course, but people have organized concerts, they've organized trivia nights, they've organized stand-up comedy nights, all sorts of things of that nature. So the community basically asked us, like, hey, what can we do? We can come up with this, but as players and as creators, what can we do? Can you give us something that makes it even easier? And that's really where it started. And you'll see lots of the features we're adding over the next months, let alone the next year, are centered around social, are centered around virtual presence, a new way of being, a new ways of doing stuff in Core. And I wish I could reveal more, but we have so much more coming up, and I have to hold myself back. But this is just the beginning, right? And I wanted to give a big shout out to Team Meta, who's been working on all that for many months now, and they've done a really great job. And they've been also helping testing the mobile stuff. So, yeah, Maddie, do you want to? What's next? More poker?
Mm-hmm. I have some questions for y'all. So on stream, we're gonna be playing a bit of poker. Please no stream sniping. That would be uncool. But we're gonna play some poker, then hop into a game show while we give y'all some questions for all of these. So we did have a question about will we have to publish publicly versus for testing. I believe private publishes will work on iOS. Adam, do you know the answer for that?
They absolutely will work. The only challenge is right now is that just with how we're at right now, there's no way to access them yet. But I don't think that's just a dev thing. So yes, absolutely, an unlisted game you should be able to join, which means you can use those as ways to test your thing without making it go live, just like you can today.
And then we also had a question for will there be further creation contests and entries for being added to Core? We do plan on having more game jams, nothing to announce quite yet, but something we've been talking about is also more jams and contests for templates and the like there. So I see we have Doc B Design in chat, really like the art gallery that he made. Want to find ways to promote more stuff like that. And then the request was also for things like pets, costume parts. Those are all things we can talk about. Another thing that we think will be fun is a potential mini jam for Party Portals modes. So if that's something that y'all want to see and you have an idea for a mode, let me know and we might be able to fire something up. Alrighty. And so, Frederick, Arash, we have a question from Toxopholite about why should indie devs choose a Core rather than, say, a platform that has a larger player base right now?
Frederick, you're muted, I think.
No, I'm not muted. Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we hear you.
I was yeah. So I already answered that question, right? But I can go over that. I mean, the fundamentals of why you should be using Core. One, it's a growing platform, right? We're adding iOS, we're adding more platforms, so you're going to have more reach, more players coming in. Second, it is. I mean, first and foremost, I would say it is the easiest, fastest way to create real-time multiplayer experiences. Period. Right? We've seen all sorts of creators come to Core. Some had never made games before. Some are experienced game makers, and they're able to create like high-level, high-quality experiences. You can see the graphics. You can see the graphical environments. Compare that to all the other metaverse plays out there, or UGC plays. Best quality of graphics, best quality of gameplay, and of course, it's super easy to publish, and it's super easy to monetize your games. You have all sorts of ways to monetize your games. Of course, we are growing, we are expanding. So we're still at the very beginning of what we're doing, right? Last year we decided to launch in beta, and we've been growing since then. We've been adding tons of stuff. There are no other places where you can get off the shelf as a creator, as an indie publisher or creator. I'm hearing some music. Someone is playing some rock. Sorry, that's cool. Someone is getting excited about what I'm saying. So, and we're adding more, right? As I mentioned, it's really hard for me not to reveal what we're working on. We're working on some massive expansions of Core. And today is important, but it's going to probably look minor as compared to what we're about to announce in a few weeks, few months. Really way more things to do in Core, way more things for players and users to come into Core and experience the metaverse or vision of the metaverse based on self-expression, creativity, new economic opportunities. Anyways, yeah, that's sorry if it's a repeat, but I wanted to make sure I nailed that question.
Repeating is great. And Bigger Mistake asked, will you require a published game to join the workshops to get into test flight? No, for the workshop. We are going to have you publish a game during the workshop. So just go ahead and apply. We would love to have you if we think that you might want to join a boot camp or another program that we have. We have a lot of ways to tie you in with the community and teach you some great stuff. But yeah, if you want in the test flight, apply for the workshop and you're good. And Kep asks, actually, I just thought of something. Can you do 2D in Core? And we have something for that coming out in the next patch. So Core does support 2D. It has the 2.5D, and I believe Adam has played around with this as well for there's a side scroller framework. But in the next update, we also have image uploading comes out. Now, I hear image uploading, and I need to pick a question. I hear image uploading and think of, oh, cool, I can have a billboard or something. But then Adam sees image uploading and then made a sprite animator. Adam, what were you doing there?
There's the mute button. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, so image uploading is incredibly exciting. And I got to actually weigh in back when it was first proposed and sort of make sure it would be as useful to creators as possible. The big thing, as up until before this feature comes out, you'll have been able to use game portals and UI images to sort of grab game screenshots and use those sort of for posters and for billboards. So there was a way to accomplish that. But what you couldn't do is make custom UI elements. You couldn't bring anything that had transparency in. Right? The images had to be the full square because game screenshots can't be transparent. Image upload gives you that full transparency, and it is a very powerful feature. I believe every user gets up to 100 megabytes of images to upload, and so suddenly up until now, to make good UI, you've needed to be really good at UI kit bashing, which is a special brand of kit bashing, where instead of bringing together 3D models to make a new shape, you're bringing together gradients, you're bringing together other things to get a very deep and interesting UI. Now users can go to open game game art, they can go to, or they can just open Photoshop, right? Use their artistic abilities or commission other artists to bring in custom UI elements and really bump the presentation of their games that much farther. It's super duper exciting. And yeah, I was able to prove out a simple, basically bring in a sprite sheet and able to just move the image around a panel to sort of, instead of loading in image after image after image, because that's probably slower, just moving an image around, and I was able to get like an animated character. So suddenly you could put together like a pixel art character with a run cycle, and you could make a whole game in the UI layer. Or you could use world space canvases to make a sprite art character in 3-dimensional space. You could put that over your character and actually then hide the visuals of your person, and you could have like, you know, sort of the Octopath Traveler style 2D sprites in a 3D world aesthetic. So this opens up a ton of yet more options for creators than we had before today. It's super exciting.
And talking about avatars, I think we should cover the new avatar system. As I mentioned earlier, it's going to be done in several waves. One coming very soon, internally called 1.5, and later we have 2.0. I don't know, Raj, do you want to cover the new avatar system?
Yeah, I can talk about that. So, so one thing that we listened to you all, and the way that we see you want to utilize the avatar and have a lot more flexibility to it. Originally, our avatar systems, it was full set of avatars. You come in and you, like, quote unquote, they were action figures that you came in and you chose and you changed some parts of it. Right now, the way that the new version is going to be that, like, you come in, you select the type of character you want, but you can customize how they their style, their appearances, and everything else. So we're releasing this in 2 phases. So one phase is going to be that you can come in and change the style, and then later down the road, we're actually going to introduce a lot more flexibility, even to change the body structure of the characters as well. So a lot of cool stuff is coming in. We want to make sure that, like, if you want to be a small orc, you can be a small orc. If you want to be actually a cool superhero, you can be a cool superhero as well. So all of this we're adding a lot of flexibility to it, and that is going to come out actually quite shortly as well, at least, but we're releasing it in different phases.
It's big part. It's one of the biggest. It's part of a bigger project we are working on, which is really to redefine what you can do, how you can be in Core. And the new avatar system is one part of that. And there is another huge series of components we cannot talk about today, sorry. But it's going to be very, very exciting. We really want to create a very different metaverse than what is offered out there, where it's a lot about self-expression, creativity, where you can do and be whatever you want to do or be. Grammatically, sorry, it's not correct, but you understand. Do whatever you want. Very open multiverse, very social multiverse, with all sorts of things to do, create, share, and also a lot of new economic opportunities.
All right.
Which platforms will Core be released? Why can't we create games when playing on GeForce Now? Okay, that's very, very good question. Very simple. So one, as you know, Core is one application, right? It's like on the PC. It's one application that has everything in it. That's why you're looking at, when you're using Core, you're looking at years on years of R&D, right? Years on years of hardcore R&D for both aspects of the creation part and the players part, right? the user part. And porting the creation tools to other platforms is extremely hard. Also, by the way, we've seen zero demand for it. Nobody has said, hey, I really want to be able to create whatever I've been creating in Core on mobile, GFN, etc. So for now, the creation part is going to remain on PC only, but the playing part, the user part for everybody else is going to be on other platforms. So we just mentioned PC, iOS, and Macs, and we are working on other platforms. If you look at our background, if you look at what's out there, you can probably surmise that we are working on being on the consoles, maybe VR at some point. So all that is possible. We just have to prioritize. We're still a small team. We're growing fast, and we're working on lots of things at the same time. So we just have to prioritize, right? But you can expect Core on more platforms, of course. And when? I don't know, because we're working on so many other things for now.
And you'll be hearing from us pretty soon on some of this new stuff that we're teasing. Where this is the first, this is the start of a very exciting summer that I cannot wait to show y'all. Let's see, we had, and I know Frederick, you just touched on it, but to reiterate. Same with editing on mobile. We really want to focus the playing experience on these other devices and ways to expand the audience. And then sticking with PC, where we can really focus on having the creation tools there be as good as they can possibly be.
I cannot help, though. I have to say something. As a player,
Perfect.
Some of the things we're working on it will allow you to be very creative, to express yourself even more. So ... right? Wait a few weeks, a few months. We'll have more on that soon. But I would say the act of creation, the act of creative expression, the act of customization, etc., will not just be for creators and for avatars. We're working on pretty expensive stuff in that regard. Sorry to be cryptic.
All right. And I think we can start winding down. If you have any remaining questions, please get them in there. We're going back through our feed.
Maybe you can load the community for the next hour, right? The concert, what's going on in Core, the next hour. That's pretty exciting.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, so stick around. We have content all day for you. So come to Core Plaza, message Calvotha if you are in the plaza with him. He'll fire up a portal for you. There's a couple of games that I haven't showed you yet. And so if you are really good at rock, paper, scissors, and apparently it is possible to be good at rock, paper, scissors, we have a rock, paper, scissors tournament that we can fire off. We can do a poker tournament. Yes, the community team will be firing those up in the default world. If you haven't collected your treasure chest, your RP points for today, load in, grab them. Everybody gets 100K. Everybody gets 100K reward points because it's everybody's anniversary and we're celebrating. Right after this, we are going to be working on the Deadly Fishes DJ show. We have a little bit of technical work we're going to tackle with the live stream into Core Plaza. And we'll definitely have it on Twitch, and Deadly Fishes is amazing. He is responsible for all of the music that you hear in Core. And so I highly recommend watching on Twitch, but also we'll post once it's live and, hey, we got the RPS tournament going up. But we'll also post once we're live in Plaza, because being able to see a live stream within the metaverse is the future. It feels like you are living in the future, and it's where we're headed. And that's mainly it. So make sure that you're following us on Twitter. Jump into Discord. That's where the announcements are going to be first. If you were following us on Twitter, you got the mobile announcement a little bit early this morning. And that announcement was we're coming to mobile. We're launching on iOS this summer. So head to the Discord, apply to be in the workshops, join to get into the test flight program, and join us for a gigantic, spectacular mobile launch this summer. Y'all, anything else you'd add?
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of things I wanted to say. So one, of course, attend the the concerts. Matthew Pablo is our studio audio producer, so everything audio in Core is thanks to him. The tools to make the music, the sound effects, and the actual sound effects and music. Second, we would love to have more musicians, bands in Core, right? We've organized lots of concerts. We're going to have a big concert with deadmau5. There were other concerts organized by us or by the community. We want to see more of that. We think that Core is a wonderful platform to organize live events, especially concerts for all musicians, quite frankly, especially now you have the streaming, so no excuse, but even within Core. So Matthew is going to show you how it's done in Core, but like we really invite you to contact us and or start using Core to do just that. We would love to help you. Also wanted to give a very big thank you to a few groups. Obviously, very big thank you and congratulations to the community, the creators, the players, right? We have over 3 million users, 30,000 creators. Thank you so much for your time, your energy. And as we've shown you, and as I promise you, there will be way more for you coming this year. So stay tuned. And wanted to say thank you, of course, to the Manticore team. Customer service, QA, engineering, art, marketing, team meta, product management, and of course the G&A team. Thank you so much for all your hard work. This was really the culmination of many months of work and still to come. So thank you very much. Congratulations. Happy 1-year anniversary. And enjoy the events, party portals, the concert.
There has never been an easier way to build an online multiplayer game, like full stop.
A lot of this has actually come from the community, the other core developers and builders.
This is the Game Awards